News 46, local coverage you can count on.
At Healthcare Partners Medical Group, our mission is to provide the highest quality of healthcare to each and every patient. With 5 locations in Pahrump, we are local doctors you know and trust. We want to thank you for choosing us. Quality care starts here.
News 46 is brought to you by Healthcare Partners and Humana. News is also brought to you by Barry Levinson and Associates, Pahrump's Bankruptcy Center. When it comes to important matters like bankruptcy, call an experienced, compassionate attorney. Call the Bankruptcy Center of Pahrump. Call 775-727-4747. News is also brought to you by Tire Works Total Car Care. Not your typical tire and service company. Guaranteed lowest prices on tires. Your one-stop shop for all automotive needs. Call 775-751-6100 or 702-365-TIRE. News is also brought to you by the St. Therese Mission, a future venue for cultural and environmental events near Pahrump. Get involved. Visit us at sttheresemission.com or call 702-507-4172.
Tonight on News 46, firefighters extinguish an inferno in high winds.
We speak to the victim who lost his home and his pets in that blaze.
And a large truck and trailer ram into a telephone pole. News 46 starts now.
You're watching KPVM News 46 with Rick Vale and Rhonda Van Winkle. Local coverage from Deanna O'Donnell and news across Nevada with Janet Eric. News 46, local coverage you can count on.
Good evening. It's Monday, December 6th, 2011. I'm Rick Vale.
And I'm Deanna O'Donnell for News 46. A property that has had public nuisance complaints in the past caught fire Friday night. Firefighters successfully averted a possible catastrophe after 11 p.m. when they successfully fought a scorching home inferno in high winds on Irene Street. Deputies evacuated homes on Piltz Street, right behind the residence, where many vehicles and the home were engulfed in flames. The high winds caused the flames and embers to blow over into the neighbors' yards.
Pahrump Valley Fire and Rescue headed off a firestorm on Friday night. A structure fire occurred on Irene Street, but with high winds, there was a possibility that other neighboring residences could have ignited. We're going to speak to Fire Chief Scott Lewis.
It was late Friday night, just after 11 o'clock p.m. We were dispatched for a report of an unknown type fire, but they thought it might possibly involve a structure. It was originally thought to be at the front of the property. And this property is well known to us. There's a number of different outbuildings, structures, vehicles, other personal property. So it's a very full property that runs almost a city block long.
Didn't the town want to have this property cleaned up at one time?
I think the county was working on getting that property cleaned up over a period of time.
So when you guys were dispatched to it, there was high winds at this time, extremely high winds.
We've been informed there was gusts up to 60, 65 miles per hour during the course of this suppression. So it created challenges right from the beginning. We were on scene in approximately 5 minutes, found heavy fire conditions at the front of the property that had extended already well into a double-wide manufactured dwelling, which was then extending to a single-wide. It was basically hot running down along the line amongst the different vehicles that were stored on the property, other outbuildings, a panel van, a boat, a number of different things. I think in total there was 9 discarded vehicles on a property that also were burned.
And then a couple animals also lost their lives.
Yes, it's my understanding that several pets, including an exotic bird, were lost. But however, there were several dogs that were saved and were removed by animal control. One of our primary concerns was not just the fire on the property, but was also preventing it from going onto the neighboring properties. So our main focus was on exposure protection, both on the on-site where the fire is occurring, and also the neighboring properties.
And you guys successfully suppressed it from catching to the neighbors' homes, even with these high winds and the flames and the hot ashes going over the neighbors' homes. I know that you kind of made a barrier between the neighbor's house and the back of this property.
We're fortunate. We were able to spec out our apparatus, especially those with the water tenders, that were also mobile conveyances that could actually use master streams moving or stationary. And in this case, we used a combination of those two and created a line, as you had mentioned, protecting the exposures on the sides and at the rear of the property.
Nye County Sheriffs had to evacuate homes back there, though.
We did that simply as a precautionary measure. The flame links were jumping. It was a very fast moving fire, rapidly deteriorating conditions. So our goal was to make sure everybody was safe, both on the primary property as well as any of the neighboring.
We called all hands. We also used Nye County Emergency Services, didn't we?
Yes, we dictated the all hands because we want to make sure we had enough personnel on the scene, and I did request an engine from the county just to come down and help us with some water supply.
Wonderful. And I know that we had a local water supply right there on Blag. It was close enough for us to keep filling up those tenders.
It made it a little easier for us to fill up at that hydrant. However, it would have been even easier and nicer if we had a fixed water supply system on near that property. But we used our mobile conveyances, the water tenders, and we're able to create a daisy chain, if you will, of trucks coming through. So we never truly ran out of water on the fire grounds.
I know that we don't have the tower ladder truck out there. That was a huge suppression in that fire that we had over at the thrift store. It seemed to just be able to contain the fire very quickly. What's going on with that?
Well, that engine is in and are getting ready to install it. However, that truck would not have been a good truck to use in this fire because of the winds. By erecting the main on that particular piece, it would be jeopardizing everyone on the scene. We don't want to ever have it in a situation where it could topple over, and the winds would not have been conducive for that aerial application.
So I know that you were standing on top of the water tender there to cool down the flames that were blowing in that direction in the south winds.
Yes, they were actually coming out the northwest, but it was blowing it towards the southeast. And the water tenders are a great tool for us because, again, they had the master streams for delivering up to 800 gallons per minute on the fire. It allowed us to go on the perimeter lines and quickly contain the fire and not allow it to move to the neighboring exposures.
We called the state fire marshal in. What does it look like right now at this point that might have caused the fire?
Preliminarily, it appears it's an accidental fire, probably the result of accidentally discarding the embers and burning material from a wood-burning stove. So when the winds kicked up, it blew those embers right to our house and started the fire.
Well, we caught up with the homeowner who lost everything, including many animals and a bird that the community has come to know and love, named Tequila. Here's Rick Flores.
Well, I got up like every other morning and had a good day with Tequila and everybody and fed everybody. And the news forecast said that it was going to be cold, so I brought my kids in. And night came.
Your kids meaning your animals?
My animals, yeah. I lost 10 animals out of it. Tequila, the performing bird out here and things. And got everything ready for the night and left. And stayed the night at my girl's house and like normal, you know. And I guess I didn't put out any ashes or something that was left with this high wind. This high wind was crazy that day. And something caught on fire. And next thing I know, I come home at about 10:30 in the morning. And I saw the fire guys in my yard, and they were looking for my body because they thought that I was still there. And just realized that I lost everything for 20 years and things that matter to me the most, my kids, like my birds, 10 animals that I lost. And
all the rest were dogs, but also everybody knows Tequila, the parrot. But were the rest dogs?
Well, there were dogs, there were birds, the birds and little creatures and stuff. And my 30-year-old dog that I had since I was 17, wow. He was in the bathtub staying warm, and it was just a heck of a scene to pull up on and see everything to the ground. And the guys were telling me that the wind took it and just devastated the yard and everything, the cars and the vehicles that I was going to do. Because, as you know, I give to the community and things. And I had a lot of things I was donating out still, clothes. And I had a whole bunch of coats and T-shirts and stuff to get to the community and stuff. And everything's gone. Just to the ground. I
know you lost vehicles, a boat back there, pretty much every vehicle. You had another mobile home back there as well, and of course everything inside your home.
Oh yeah, everything. Well, that was my storage unit that I had for the donations and stuff as well for the people out here in Pahrump. It's all gone to the ground. It was amazing. I did rescues before and people, and years ago when the town wasn't that developed. I've given out mobile homes to people that were, out and have nowhere to go. And it's just so strange to be on the opposite end of this now, that I'm asking the community for all the help they can.
What do you need help with? What would you be asking for them to help you with?
Well, for right now, clothes, food, maybe an older mobile home, something that I can get into somehow or another after I clean my place again. I lost all my monies in the fire because I took it out of the bank because I didn't know how the bank was going to be anymore, So, and just whatever the community can help out with, and more or less, if you have anybody out there that's got vehicles or cutting torches or something that I could borrow, and a vehicle and a flatbed or something that I can haul to the dump and start cleaning the property because all my vehicles are wiped out. So.
Exactly. So how can people contact you?
They can call me at 775-910-9363, and they can go to the email.
Rick.flores66@yahoo.com.
Correct, yeah. And, God, excuse me, I'm still a nervous wreck.
I'm so sorry for what you've been through. What a horrible loss. What a horrible loss for your bird and your home and everything. And, of course, the community to contact you once again at what's the phone number?
775-910-9363. And they are going to hold a motorcycle run, and a little barrel kind of where you can put your monies into barrels all around the bars. Stage Stop is going to provide all that, and they're getting it up and running for me as well. So,
thank you so much, Rick.
Thank you, guys. And, hey, guys, hi out there. And no more tequila, but we'll do all right.
Rick also wanted to add his great appreciation to the Pahrump Valley Fire and Rescue for all they did in saving any further destruction from this devastating fire.
Yeah, Rick came in this morning and he hadn't seen the fire because he said he showed up the next morning and he couldn't believe what it looked like or what the firefighters had done. So he was really taken aback and wanted to thank them. And as well, we also wanted to clarify that the reason that the fire started, as far as the state fire marshal and what his findings are, is that Rick possibly dumped some hot ashes from his wood-burning stove outside the front of his house before he left.
Something to be careful for. Folks, as we head into our first break, the community Christmas tree lighting was a huge success.
And the Pahrump Valley Speedway held its awards ceremony this past weekend.
We'll have all this and more right after the break, so please keep it here.
News 46 is brought to you by Southwest Medical Associates. Their healthcare center is now open in your neighborhood. Southwest Medical Associates. Now that's powerful medicine.
And welcome back. The driver of a pickup truck that avoided a collision with another vehicle suffered shoulder pain when his vehicle struck a telephone pole yesterday afternoon on Leslie and Galley Streets.
Tonight's accident report is brought to you by Stovall & Associates. Don't expect insurance companies to have your best interest in mind. Stovall & Associates cares. Let us help you if you have been involved in an accident.
A single vehicle accident yesterday on Leslie and Galley prompted Pahrump Valley Fire and Rescue and Nye County Sheriff's deputies to the location in which one pickup truck with a large load ran into a power pole. We're going to speak to Fire Chief Scott Lewis.
Yes, there was a truck with a large trailer with a heavy load on it, that of hay cubes, was traveling on Leslie, and it's my understanding that a vehicle may have pulled out from him. There was an evasive maneuver made. The vehicle left the roadway and impacted a power pole.
And so I know Valley Electric came on scene to check out the power and see if there was any damage to that pole.
Yes, at our request, our initial observations and seeing size up revealed that the pole may have been displaced several inches, so we wanted to make sure it was still safe once that vehicle was removed. So we requested Valley Electric. They responded, they did an evaluation, and they'll take their further actions as they deem necessary.
Was there one occupant of this truck, or how many occupants?
It's my understanding there was one occupant, the driver.
And he was injured, wasn't he?
He claimed that he was shaken up, but he refused to have any medical care.
And then the other car, did we locate the other car that was involved in this? Or not?
I don't know. The sheriff's office was investigating as far as the circumstances surrounding the accident.
And Nye County Sheriffs attempted to locate the occupants of a single vehicle rollover on Charleston Park and Ford Loop Friday night. Witnesses report that the three men fled the accident scene. And according to Nye County Sheriff Tony DeMeo, the subjects were eventually located and taken into custody. And we will have more on this story as information becomes available.
Did you know that 40% of all caregivers caring for chronically ill loved ones, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, die before their loved ones? Imagine being responsible for a very ill loved one 24/7 with little time for sleep, meals, or any other activities. The RSVP Respite Care Program's goal is to have trained, capable volunteers who can persuade the caregiver that it's okay to leave for a few hours and not worry about their loved one. RSVP is actively seeking volunteers with a few hours a week to work in this most essential of programs, which rewards caregivers for their dedication to their loved ones by keeping them at home where they're the happiest and healthiest. Respite care volunteers earn about $175 per month stipend and mileage to and from assignments at 30 cents a mile. For more details, you can call Jan Lindsay at 751-5282.
And the community Christmas tree lighting was held Saturday night in the parking lot of the Saddle West.
Well, here on Saturday night was the community Christmas tree lighting. We're going to speak to Commissioner Gary Hollis and Karen Jackson from K9 Radio. And Santa, my favorite Santa.
So many people came.
I know, huh?
I'm amazed.
It is amazing. I know that Gary lit the tree with who?
Grayson. He's a 9-year-old boy that the community voted for him to light the tree.
Wonderful. And we did a little drawing contest, right?
No, they all wrote in telling me why they should be the ones selected.
Oh, wonderful.
And then I read them on air and everybody voted.
There you go. Yeah. And the tree is gorgeous. Tell me how many lights we have again.
There's over 2,000 lights on that tree.
How did the tree hold up with the winds?
Actually, it really pretty well. But, you know, the community has taken ownership. And when we had the bad wind the other day, as balls were falling off the tree, people were stopping and picking up the balls and taking them to Saddle.
We were kind of hoping that the people would know that this was their tree, and they kind of have done that.
Amazing. And, you know, it's freezing. And we had how many people out here tonight?
Well, we got a nativity scene and a bunch of backdrops and everything here, and everybody's getting involved. They're having hot cocoa. How much fun.
And cookies.
And Commissioner Hollis here. And I know we had Commissioner Dan Chinhoffen here as well. Yeah. We have Santa and Mrs. Claus over there.
And Judge Walker was here.
Judge Walker's still here.
Yes.
With the drug court people.
Wonderful. And so tell me a little bit about some of the activities that we're doing. Are we singing some songs? I know we have some caroling going on, or at least some music.
Well, we had some caroling, but it's so cold. People are kind of leaving. Yeah. You know, they wanted to see the tree. All the events we had planned, the cold kind of squelched a lot of it.
Are we going to be having this lit every night now? It's going to be lit every night.
It will not be turned off till after New Year's.
It will be right like it is right now.
Mm-hmm. So, Commissioner, I know that Grayson helped you out with that. Tell me a little bit about how he was. How much was he enjoying lighting the tree with you?
Oh, he was ecstatic. I mean, he really was in the thought of the season, and he was waiting for me to tell him to push down on the plunger. And I thought he would be taken back by all the cameras, but he seemed to be turning right, left. You know, he did very well.
He's a wonderful kid, wonderful event. Thank you so much, Karen. Once again, what a wonderful event, what a wonderful tree.
This is just amazing. You know, it's our tree. And it's awesome.
Are we going to be having any other events out here before Christmas?
Not that I have planned.
Yeah. So if people want to come by and visit the tree, they can do that. And then, of course, we have all these scenes here for them to enjoy. Next year, we're going to have the tree. Are we looking at possibly a live tree in the future?
I'm working on that. But, yes, this will be happening every year from now on. Even when I'm gone.
There you go.
It's in my will. The tree will be here.
There you go. And Commissioner?
Well, Karen and I and KPVM would wish everybody a Merry Christmas.
And the award ceremony for Pahrump Valley Speedway was held at El Jefe's on Saturday night. The winners for this past season were for IMCA, number 16T, Travis Ryder, Mini Stock, number 14, Sue Smotherman, Mini Mod, number 78, John Birch, Street Stock, 7SR Pete Wallace, and Pro Stock 7SR Pete Wallace. Dwarf Cars number 16 times Mike Bean, Bombers, number 65, Gary White. Coops, number 3, Dan Neubauer. Sportsmanship, number 2, Dylan Smotherman. Dusty Park and Anthony Broadhead also received appreciation awards. The banquet also had a raffle in which the drivers battled over a turkey fryer. Tomorrow we speak to Chad Broadhead and two-time award-winning driver from this past season, Pete Wallace, about his rollover on the track this past race.
All right, folks, and all this wind and cold weather is right among us. We're going to check in with Zach Fuentes after the break and take a look at what our 7-day forecast is going to be like.
News 46 weather is brought to you by Healthcare Partners Medical Group, with 5 locations in Pahrump. Local doctors and professional staff providing total care from infancy to seniors. News 46 weather is also brought to you by your local dairy farmers. Dairy products are very important in maintaining a healthy body. For more information, you can visit their website at nevadadairycouncil.org. News 46 weather is also brought to you by Humana.
Welcome back to News 46. I'm Zach Fuentes here with you. Hope everybody had a great weekend. So today we had some sunny skies, and our high was not very high. It was at 46 degrees. Our winds were coming out of the north-northeast at 14 miles per hour, and our gusts were up to 35 miles per hour, so it was a little bit windy out there. Our pressure was at 30.32, and our UV was at 3 moderate. Humidity was at 20%, and our sunrise was at 6:40 a.m. Today's record was 76 degrees back in 1938. Tonight looks like we're going to have some clear skies, and our low is going to be 19 degrees, and I'm pretty sure that's our current temperature right now in the studio. It's very cold here, folks at home. Anyways, our winds are coming out of the north-northeast at 17 miles per hour, and our gusts are going to be at up to 27 miles per hour, so still a little bit windy. Our humidity is going to be at 24%, and our sunset looks like it's going to be at 4:29 p.m. And tonight's record, we're coming pretty close to it, is 18 degrees back in 1948. Tomorrow we're going to have sunny skies as well. Our high is going to be 47 degrees, and our low will be at 18 degrees. So remember, keep your pets inside, wrap your pipes and the plants. I don't know what you're supposed to do about that to keep them from dying in the cold, but those of you who have plants, I'm sure you know, so take whatever precautions necessary. And anything else you don't want to freeze. The winds are going to come out of the east at 3 miles per hour, and our gusts are going to be at up to 13 miles per hour. The UV is going to stay the same at 3 moderate, and our sunrise is going to be at 6:41 a.m. The humidity looks like it's going to be at 15%. And for our 7-day forecast, it looks like we're going to have sunny skies, but pretty cold temperatures, actually. Our highs are going to be in the 50s, but things are going to warm up a little bit, as you can see. Our overnight lows are going to warm up, too, from, 18 and 17 degrees and 19 degrees and whatever else it is to the 20s, so that's good. And on Sunday, Monday, it looks like we're going to have some clouds and maybe a chance of some rain, but we'll see as the week goes on. And today's worst weather was in Eastwood, Kentucky. I like that picture, where they had flooding rainfall. Back to you.
Thank you very much, Zach. And again, folks, don't forget the 5 Ps of Pahrump. Tomorrow is going to be extremely cold at night. Remember, your pets, your pumps, your plants, your pipes, and your pools. All of these things can freeze or suffer from the cold weather. You want to make sure to take care of all of them to, avoid any permanent damage.
Wow, extremely cold weather. A Christmas concert will be held this Sunday, December 11th at 2 p.m. and 6 p.m. at the Nugget Event Center.
And the clinic at Walmart, operated by Southwest Medical Associates, will kick off the Docs for Socks campaign, which encourages people to donate new socks, underwear, and toiletries for local children in need. The campaign will run from December 7th to December 31st.
And the High Desert Chorale's holiday concert will be this Wednesday night, December 7th at 7 p.m. at the Pahrump Nugget. The doors open at 6:30. Admission is $5 or $3 with a donation of a non-perishable food item.
And for more information on that event, you can call 751-6776. And folks, that's going to do it for this edition of News 46. I'm Rick Vale.
And I'm Deanna O'Donnell.
And from everyone up here in the Hill at KPVM, we wish you a safe evening, and we'll see you here again tomorrow night. Until then, good night, Pahrump.